Hello and welcome everybody to the Children of Ruin, the new update for Anbennar that has recently released. We are going to be jumping into a new campaign here that I am looking forward to. Now, I was planning on doing a different campaign before I decided on this one. I was going to be playing an alien tier, but you know, there's new Dwarven content, and am I really a good Anbennar player if I don't dive into the new Dwarven content? I don't think so, okay? I've got plenty of my own grudges that have been put into the grudge book, you know, grudges against me. I don't need another one. So in order to make up for maybe all the smack talking I've done of dwarves in the past, we're going to go ahead and jump in as a Dwarven nation this time. So we're going to be starting as the Blackbeard Cartel. We are a adventure nation, which means that we can migrate inside of the Serpentspine here. And eventually we're going to be trying to make our way all the way over here, I believe, and form Orlghelovar, I think is how you say it, like the dark blue nation. We're gonna be the glass dwarves. If for some reason that becomes unavailable, we will go ahead and form Shazdun Deer, but that is the goal. I want to form them. Now, we are not going to be beeline over there because there are lots of new mechanics for Dwarven, well, for everyone in the Serpentspine. Total rehaul, absolutely great stuff. As always, there's a link down below in the description. If you want to go check out Anbennar, you absolutely should. Lots of fun. There's totally new mechanics specifically around this expedition targets. So you can go to these expedition targets and there's a whole new mechanic about diving in and finding ancient knowledge. And honestly, the best way to do it is just to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and migrate south, even though I want to get over here. This is worth the detour. So we're going to migrate over here and we're going to go to our decisions. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and just get these basic things out of the way. These are just basic missions that you get as every Dwarven adventurer. Really nothing too crazy. So mapping the Dwarvar, if we have some money, this will give us a Conquistador. So we'll go ahead and we'll click that. Mountain Hidden Stone, we are on an expedition target. This gives us 50 Diplo power. Let's go ahead and do that. We are, of course, going to be Ancestor Worship, which means that we get to choose our religious doctrines here, and I think we're going to go for the dev cost. I mean, dev cost is king, right? So we're going to choose the dev cost. Okay. Also, we just have basic adventure ideas here: more morale, recovery speed, land attrition. We have inflated amounts of force limit because of this. We're gonna go ahead and immediately start boosting that up. Go ahead and build as many troops as possible. And now we will look to the expedition menu. So, and we can deal with the crown later on. Expedition menu, the holds of the Dwarvrod harbor just as many secrets as the caverns adjacent, to which do we send our best men to explore. Lost monuments and artifacts of all Dwarov, treasures beyond belief, and lost knowledge are ripe for the taking. Prepare an expedition for Argrod 16. We've chosen the target of our grand expedition. Will we move forward and outfit the expeditionary party with the necessary supplies? We will. And then look at this. Look at this beautiful AI. So there is a lot of things to go over here. So let's start from the top and we'll move our way to the bottom. So obviously Serpentspine Expedition, it tells you which province it is, which is nice. You can also just click that button to go over to it. It tells you the danger level. I believe it goes copper, silver, gold, platinum, mithril for the difficulty. So we're on the second most difficult. Length, short, medium, long. We're on a medium length. The estimated loot we will get is 200 to 800, and you will get the money and you will get monarch points. And I believe you'll also get dwarven knowledge, which we could talk more about when we get it. This tells you about your party and how it's going. So this will be updated live every month tick to see how much you have and what you have lost. So you need to put manpower into the pool through starting the preparations. You can send manpower, which will gradually decrease as the expedition progresses, in addition to the occasional losses during encounters. If you reach 0, you fail. Your morale affects chance of success of certain encounters. When it reaches 0, manpower decreases rapidly due to desertions. And if it reaches 0, it fails. Organize the troop. Organization affects the chance of success of every encounter. High organization reduces the consumption of supplies and the loss of morale. Also speeds up progression, and this is interesting because the base value depends on your discipline. So if you're later in the game and you have some expeditions and you have a lot of discipline in your armies, you don't need to send as many people on these expeditions if they're the lower difficulty levels, because your discipline should be able to hold you through. And then of course supplies, you know, will be slowly consumed. If you run out, you're gonna die real fast. That kind of is how it is. And then there's the party share. The party share reduces the periodic morale loss. The The higher it is compared to the estimated loot, the stronger the effect. So you're going to want to make sure that you have some party share here. That way they don't lose morale super fast. If you promise them nothing, well, then they're not going to do anything for you, which makes sense to me. So let's go ahead and set party share first. We're going to raise the share by 100 crowns. You know what? We'll go up to 200. That way, worst comes to worst, we'll break even, right? And there's actually this fancy button here. You can reset all preparations if you don't like what you've done. As for manpower, we're going to go ahead and send 5,000 men. So all the troops we have right now, we're going to send in. We may want to send more. I'm not sure. We'll probably wait for these troops to be built before we start this, because it is kind of important that we have enough troops. As for morale, you can spend monarch points or money to increase how much morale you have. So we only have 3.42. I'm going to go ahead and spend some monarch points here, probably twice, to get our morale up to 6. I'm hoping that will be enough. It might not be enough, but we'll see. Then organization, we want to organize the troops for sure. We need more monarch points. So let's go ahead and unpause here, and hopefully that will get us a little bit closer. Now we do need an heir in our country. Oh, also we start off with someone strict, which means our base organization is 105%. That's really nice. Let's go for a skilled adventurer captain, because that gives us adventuring efficiency. Stats aren't great though. We'll go ahead and we'll turn him into a general, and hopefully he dies. All right, we can go ahead and go back, and we can close this for now, because we're not going to start it until these 2 troops are built up. And if you look, there's another expedition here, and they are all over the place. There are lots of expeditions, and they are 100% worth it. You should absolutely 150%. You should do the expeditions. You get very, very good rewards off of them, and you can use them to invest in everything else. Like in more expeditions, I should say. All right, let's go ahead and send manpower. Let's send another 2,000 men. Go back. Right now, the total cost is 290. So if we only get the least amount, we're not going to break even, which would be kind of devastating. Supplies. We need to preserve food, prepare equipment, or buy supplies. Let's go ahead and preserve food, prepare equipment, preserve food, prepare equipment. I always go in with 100 supplies. I think it's worth it. It is not worth losing your supplies at all, because it's very risky. You run out of supplies, it's over, right? All right, I think with Silver Danger, medium length, and decent amount of organization, can I organize my troops just a little bit? Yeah. With 114, that should be more than enough to do here. And as long as we get a decent roll on how much loot we give or get, we will come out on top. So let's go ahead and go all the way back, double check, everything looks good. We will start preparation. Nope, and we will start the expedition. Losing the province in any way will delete all of our progress. So we have to stay here until we leave this province. Now, in the meantime, we will get events about the progress, and we'll have certain options and how we want to deal with them. You can also check here what floor progress you're through. So we're halfway through the first floor, and we have found 0 loot. Not great. Not great. Oh, wow. This is new, too. I haven't seen this new UI yet. This is absolutely fantastic. So it tells you how much manpower you have, what your morale is, how much organization you have, your supply. Look at that. Our supplies are already tanking. Already, we've lost about 14% supplies. In the tunnel ahead, a particularly bendy and tight passage through the under rock, our soldiers came upon what at first seemed to be cobwebs. Thin white strands laced the walls and blocked the path forward. Upon some initial inspection, the material turned out to be extremely easy to break. This made many reluctant to just walk through, waiting for the expedition leader's assessment of the situation. Well, sweep it away. The dry cough. When the first soldiers started coughing, no one suspected anything. Then, later, more and more soldiers were packed by fits of dry coughing and shortness of breath. The expedition had to take breaks more and more often. Some started complaining about how hard the recent days were. Some had trouble swallowing. After a week of symptoms, here and there, the expedition leader called a meeting to discuss what to do. Since most people were still healthy, and those that were coughing slowed the expedition down significantly, it was decided to send the sick back home, where they could receive a proper diagnosis and care. We lose 100 soldiers and 0.5 morale. Now, there can be other options that you have with even this event, but with every event, based on the ideas your nation has, traits that your rulers have, I believe, might affect it. How much innovativeness you have can affect it. So there's a lot of things that you can kind of do to manipulate and try and strategize around how well you want your expeditions to go. But which events pop up is RNG, from what I understand. I don't think there's anything you can do to predict them. And we are going deeper. The winding tunnels of the Serpentspine sometimes layer in strange ways that facilitate short respite, or in our case, signal a finished region. Before us lies another inlet, now even deeper into the cavernous depths. We are ready to continue. Onwards then. So we gained 2 prestige, all access prestige over the cap we converted to Dwarven Splendor, or to Splendor, and our expedition has found 2 ancient Dwarven knowledge. Now, ancient Dwarven knowledge, from what I understand, can be turned into development in your provinces when you settle, right? Which is clearly very, very strong. So you want as much Dwarven knowledge as possible. Let's go ahead and look at our expeditionary party here. So loot, so far, we have found 185. Remember, we're trying to break over 385. Otherwise, we have actually gone into the negative on what this was worth. And we do not want to be in the negative. All right. And don't worry, if you're worried about your troops and such, if your manpower survives to the end of the expedition, then you can get them back either as troops directly or manpower into the manpower pool. So you don't have to worry. If you really need troops while this is going on, you can always build more troops and then just add it to manpower. You don't have to worry about going over your force limit when they show back up. Collapsing cave. Everything is looking all right so far. Faint dust trickled down from the cave ceilings, building small piles like stalactites. Upon further inspection, the rocky pillars securing the roof appeared to have cracks that run deep into the stone. A debate sparks whether this cave should be traversed or not, but it was already too late. The ceiling gave way to the pressure building up, sending an avalanche of rocks and boulders down towards the expedition, killing and entombing many members within moments. We lose 500 soldiers. I mean, that's okay. We have plenty of manpower here. And we're going deeper. Okay. We made 370. So worst comes to worst, we lose 15 of value. That's honestly not too bad. And as long as they survive, I think we'll come out in the positive. I like to just keep this open because there's not much else to look at when you're in the Dwarvar, you know? Like, we're just an OPM chilling here. So we might as well just keep a close eye on our expedition and see what they are up to. As long as... Okay, I thought the game was about to crash there for a second. And the expedition returns. All right. As explorers, mercenaries, adventurers, clerics, warriors, and colonists return, they're hailed as heroes. They bring with them coffers full of gold and ancient artifacts and parade through the streets. So, we gain 10 adventuring efficiency, which is very nice, 5 prestige, 6,085 of them are sent back to manpower if you choose the top one, or troops if you put on the bottom one. We gain 217 crowns and 72 of each monarch point. So, I'm pretty sure that we came out on top of that pretty positive because we already lost 200 from paying the adventurers. So we made like, what, 417 crowns from that, which is pretty good. Now, ancient dwarven knowledge. The expedition has returned with ancient dwarven knowledge. The master engineers request exclusive access to this knowledge, believing its technical knowledge could help better develop our hold. However, the scholars wish for it exclusively for themselves too, for they claim the wisdom of the elders and the precedence of managing a large state, like was the Dwarv, could be applied to better workings of our state as a whole. So we will store the 3 ancient dwarven knowledge we found to improve our holds, or we will convert each point of the 3 ancient dwarven knowledge we found to 15 government reform progress. Oh, okay. Interesting. So do we have new government reforms here? I think so. Well, let's just take a look at them anyways. So we have call to surfacers. This gives a colonist national manpower modifier 5% and global settler increase. This one gives expeditions will have an extra 5% expedition organization. So if you really want to make sure that you're doing all the expeditions, which again you should, then Serpentspine spelunking actually seems really good. And then remnants of old, another colonist, monthly war exhaustion, and improved relations plus 15%. Leadership of the clans, reclaimers of the Dwarvar, pioneer influence, cartel oversight, writing the oldest grudge, purge warband decision can always be used but with reduced effects. I don't know what even that means. Higher chance to find gold and mithril when colonizing, treasures of our forefathers. My goodness, that sounds very strong. And then 3 new expeditions will appear in our provinces if you choose this one. Hold restoration, construction cost, construction time, center upgrade cost. And then we have up to 4 dwarven roads will be repaired. Huh. I don't know. That's a lot of government reform. Is it... We refer each point of the 3 ancient dwarven knowledge we found to 15 government reform progress. Or improve our holds. I almost just went for this immediately. But let's do the government reform progress. 15 for each. Wow. I mean, I want to get up to Serpentspine spelunking. Yeah. For an extra expedition organization. Let's combine all of our troops together. And we are quite literally just going to migrate south one more time. And we have a new expedition here. So let's go ahead and go to this one. All right, so it's copper level. It's medium. Estimated loot 300 to 400. Start preparations. We will send 5,000 men. We will raise morale by 1.5. That should be plenty. Organize the troops. Give another 9% discipline. Supplies, preserve food, preserve equipment, preserve food. Honestly, 60% should be more than enough. Should we promise the party anything? Yeah. We'll promise them 100 crowns. And I think we'll send them. Again, it's copper. It's the easiest one. It's a medium length. I think this should be more than enough. And if it's not, well, then we can all laugh at me as my as my people crash and burn. That is always an option. But no, these expeditions are really good. They can give you a lot of money and eventually a lot of development or government reform progress that you can use to really boost your holds when you settle. So you should try and do as many as possible. Eyes in the dark. Over the past few sunless days, deep in the Dwarvar, a strange gleaming eye has followed us. A seasoned bestiarist has identified the strange creature to be a Nothic. A mage whose search for the arcane has led them to a terrible curse that reduces them to nothing but a shadow, a husk of their former self. Now a guard, an explorer, and a mage stand before the expedition leader to debate what should be done with it. We could dispose of it, lest it attacks us from the dark, and we could relieve the wretch alone. Now, one thing they have changed from the Bitbucket version, you can no longer see the percentage of success here. It used to be that you could see how likely it was that you could have each one completed, but I think this is way better, that it doesn't just show you that, and you actually have to choose. Remember, organization makes it more likely that these will succeed. Let's go ahead and leave the wretch alone. The Nothic continued to stalk our expedition for some time, and it still haunts the sleepless nights of some of our men. The first night, when the eye was not seen at all, merited a tenuous, straining watch filled with gruesome thoughts of where the creature might be hiding now. As the days passed, however, we concluded that it was not in hiding, but simply left us behind. Whether it has learned our secrets or just lost interest, no one can say. Finally, our dreams will be ours again. Gain 0.5 morale and 5% organization, which is, I mean, that's really strong. 5% organization. If you remember, it costed, what, 15 of each monarch point to get 9% organization, so I'm sure someone else could do the math, but that's saving monarch points. All right, we're going deeper. Cool. Visit from shady people. I will gain the prestige. I don't need spy network. All right. Cool. We could turn these off. We cannot migrate yet, though, because I want to make sure we get these. Orcs roaming in the depth. With a quiet voice, the scout approaches the expedition leader. He reports that one of the Dwarvar's most common threats is just ahead of us, quickly making its way towards our position. An orcish warband, with all the clattering weapons and bellowing cries one would expect. Okay, we've got really good organization right now. We can attack them before they attack us, or make defensive preparations. We don't have a lot of supplies, so I think we're going to attack them before they attack us. Hunched into the many crevices, our soldiers wait for the warband to pass by them. Arrows, stones, and spells hurl through the air onto the orcish menace, decimating their numbers. Screaming and bellowing, they try to strike back, but each attempt at breaking free from a vicious volley results in a direct hit against them. After a few minutes of this, the warband has been mostly slain, with the few survivors routed and fleeing back into the dark depths from whence they came. Back to the pit. We gain 1 morale, we lose 250 soldiers, we lose 5% supplies, but we gain 300 loot. I am a little worried about supplies. And I'm a little worried that I should have followed my own my own advice and going max supplies every time. Just a little bit worried here. If you guys could, like, come on back, that'd be great. That'd be great. Webs on the walls. The first thing the scouts noticed were the nets. Sticky patches of glistening white strings started lining the halls left and right. The strings vibrate when they touch anything, sending waves deep into the dark. There was no denying. A nest of spiders must be near, and big ones from the look of it. And deep in its heart, there might be treasures they have taken there, cocooned onto their slippery silk. A small force could retrieve such trinkets and scout ahead, looking for a way through. On the other hand, there's a small crevice that might lead around the whole affair. I don't remember the outcome of this, but maybe we get supplies, but I think we send some scouts. As expected, the spiders tucked some golden gems away from prying eyes of fortune seekers, but courage prevailed in the face of danger, and our scouts returned with troves of treasure. Curiously, they saw no trace of the silk weavers, just empty halls lined with webs. We gain 0.5 morale and 50 loot. All right, boys, I really need you to come back home here, okay? You're going to run out of food. And it's not gonna... No, don't... No, 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 boy. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. They are gonna run out of supplies. They are absolutely gonna run out of supplies here. Uh-oh. That is not good. Dwarven explorers. Oh my goodness. We have been saved. The Serpentspine is the ancestral home of all dwarves, so it stands to reason that there would be dwarves roaming even the caverns, searching for traces of their venerated ancestors. Such a party of adventurers is now before us just around the corner. Can we abide competitors in our search? So, there's the first option. The orcs knew what to do. Hand me my axe. But, because we are a dwarf, we have dwarven administration, we gain 5% supplies and 1,000 soldiers as they join us. We just gained 5% supplies when we were on 0. And I think it's going to be enough to get us to the very end of this expedition. I'm hoping. Oh, wow. Okay. That, I couldn't have found that better myself. Literally 1.1%. Calculated. All calculated. All right. The expedition returns. And look what they bring back. 501 crowns, 168 of each monarch point. 168 of each monarch point. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. So I will go ahead and take Mill Tech here. I will also take Admin Tech as well. Okay, so I think we migrate down here. We see if we see any expeditions. I don't see them at the moment. So we're just going to have to migrate around and out through here. Go ahead and boost adventuring efficiency. You always want your adventuring efficiency super high. Now, a problem we're going to run into is this. We may get cut off by the love dwarves from ever reaching over to our hold. So I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. I don't know if maybe I'm just going to have to form Gorbarad. Or if I need to rush over here and delete their colony before it's done. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be rushing over to delete their colony. Aha, but we have expeditions to do first. I would honest to God, rather get all the expeditions and then try and find a way over than just rush. All right, now Goblin Minister. While goblins are typically lacking in strength and bravery, they make up for it in their cunning and innovation. Consisting of the more creative minds across the lawn, goblins will oftentimes find the most surprising solutions to issues that could plague traditional scholars for years. Now, one of the most innovative of their kind has come to offer their services to the captain and use their mind for the betterment of the realm, provided we pay for any damages that may occur during their research. So we can recruit the goblin. 50% chance we get a military engineer, 50% chance we get a trade efficiency, cheaper trader. True exemplar of the community, we get a moderate tolerance increase of goblins, or we can say so what, and we can get a tolerance decrease of goblins. Now, I don't know how these guys treat goblins, but as for me in this moment, I would love a half-price advisor. Love a half-price advisor. It looks like we got the trade efficiency one, which, to be fair, is the worst one in that moment, but that's fine. We will grab this 5% discipline, something I should have looked for earlier, and we'll also get the national tax. This will give us another 5% organization in our expeditions, so definitely worth it. Hi-ho, hi-ho. It ain't no trick to get rich quick if you dig with a shovel or pick. Folk song of the Diamond Dwarves of Orlghelovar. Playing lutes, flutes, and drums in the deep, our bards have spurred our miners and builders to new heights of productivity with the power of music. The joyous songs and chants of our workers fill every cavern and hold, rock chipping away, and nails hammering into wood from the beat of this harmonious symphony. In a mine where a million diamonds shine. Well, that's great. We gain one of each development in our current province, but like, we're leaving this province behind, but hey, one day we'll probably own that, and then it'll be worth it. I suppose. Gotta look in the positive things. Alright, and in May, we will be able to migrate to Molten Core, and we will do this expedition target, and then we will go up through here. Yeah, see. They can't actually afford to fight these gobos, or the natives that rise up. We also need to keep an eye on everything going on over here. But for now, it looks like we're good to keep migrating around, luckily. All right, another expedition. Let's go ahead and do it. Molten Core, organize. Oh, okay. So this is a mithril expedition and medium length. If you look there, we have 600 minimum loot, 1,600 maximum loot. But this is mithril. So we're going to want to make sure that everything is perfect and very secure because it's high risk, high reward. So send manpower. We're going to send 10,000 men. Previous expedition preparation, yeah, was not good enough. But I do like that it tells you that. That's very nice. Now, I don't think you go over 10,000. No, 10,000 is still the maximum amount of men that you can send. Prepare supplies. We will... I don't think it matters how you get the supplies as long as you get to them. Yeah, and you can't go over 100. Is it still using the monarch points, though? No, it won't let you do it. Okay. Organization. We need to map the terrain. And honestly, map the terrain again. And honestly, map the terrain again. We'll get the monarch points back if this goes well. But keeping high organization is going to be important. As for morale, we are going to purchase some love, make an upfront payment, purchase some love, upfront payment, love, upfront payment, upfront payment. High morale, high organization. I'm going to go for mapping the terrain one more time. Is it worth it to go to 170? Probably not. Probably not, you know, but I want to make sure it goes well. And then we will set the party share. We will give them 400. Let's say we'll give them 400. Yeah. So the total cost of our preparation is 1330. So it might be a bit too much. Odds are it will be too much. You know what? No, let's reset. Let's reset. Oh, you can reset what you do. Oh, no, I like that the party's contribution is at 400. That's fine. I think I might have gone a little bit too hard on the organization, which I will absolutely regret saying that if we end up losing. Okay, it's not actually resetting the organization. All right, so let's just reset everything. Reset everything. I can go back through this real quick. Manpower, 10,000. Morale, love, upfront, love. You do want high morale. Organization, map terrain. And then in supplies, prepare supplies, food, equipment, food. Okay, 14 morale, 155% organization. That's fine. Party share, go ahead and give them 400. I'm gonna be honest. Oh man. No, I do think we need the 15% organization. I do. I legitimately do. I think it's worth. All right, manpower, morale, organization, supplies. Let's send them off. Let's send them off, and let's hope it goes well. Also, is this tax card in? Popping off right now? That'd be kind of crazy. The choking death. Transparent clouds of gas sometimes get wedged into the corners of the Serpentspine, silently floating without disturbance for... Let me restart. Silently floating without disturbance for centuries. These gases are often dangerous due to the lack of oxygen for poor travelers traversing the labyrinthine paths of the ancient caverns. One such bubble of gas has now enveloped our expedition, making many explorers and scouts dizzy from the lack of oxygen. But since the gas is colorless and odorless, there is no way for our explorers to know until it is almost too late. As the signs towards the gas being the culprit behind the increasing discomfort of the expedition leader is presented with three options to approach the subject matter. We can tough it out, find a different path, or try to ignite it. Well, let's not ignite the gas that we can't see that is trapping us underground. Sounds like a bad idea. Different path or tough it out. We will lose 50 soldiers but gain 100 rewards. We're going to tough it out. 50 of you are die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Sorry. Nothing personal, but skill issue. Simple skill issue. Also, we didn't find any dwarven knowledge in that second thing. All right, great mushrooms. Great cavern opens up in front of the expedition leader. Small streams of water trickling down the natural stairs, carved out by long past tectonic activity. After a few steps down, the water converges to a lake surrounded by greater-than-life mushrooms. Their stalks glow violet and the caps extrude a dizzying smell, but not necessarily in a bad way. At their feet are more colonies with smaller mushrooms with many different colors. Take them with us, we need the food, or better leave them be, who knows what those are. I mean, usually you should not just eat random mushrooms. Life hack for you, don't do that, you'll die. But I am going to actually do this here because it could give us supplies. Among the samples the expedition took were many edible and quite frankly delicious specimen. Specimen? English, Poey, English. A small group went back to get some more, and the cooks are thankful for the variety they brought to the dreary diet. We gain 7% supplies. On some of these expeditions, you do have to take the risks in order to get the rewards. We found 3 ancient dwarven knowledge, and we are going deeper, and we can lock in Serpentspine spelunking, which I think that's just the one I want to do. I think it's more fun. Wanderlust is usually reserved for humans and their never-ending greed to find more and achieve more. But when it comes to our ancient homeland, we have every right to discover what was once ours, and we have every right to enjoy it. Take pride, smile, and laugh as you would in a tavern. We may have lost our home, but we have been granted a great boon in our lifetime, the opportunity to see it with fresh eyes. Every cave, every crevice, every lost hold is history of our forefathers to be found. Expeditions will have an extra 5% expedition organization. We have +1 colonists and 0.1 adventuring efficiency of country. Sweet. And we will go for native repression. This is quite literally the only good option in the Serpentspine. You don't get any native assimilation. If you look at reclaiming the dwarvar, you get minus 150% native assimilation, so there's no point in doing it. Just get more settlers. It is literally better every time. All right, how is our expedition doing? I'm a little worried about these guys. Looking okay. Drums in the deep. Bellowing screams and drum-like pounding echo through the winding hallways, sure signs that there are cave trolls nearby. Despite their sluggish movements and stupid grimaces, they do know how to kill. We have been cornered into a cave with no other exit, and the stomping of feet draws ever nearer to us. Assemble a barricade. Ready the weapons. As a sword plunges into the last living troll, the expedition rejoices. Around them lie the misshapen bodies of dozens of cave trolls, their skins split open, skulls bashed. The drums have gone quiet, and safety has returned to these halls, for now. Death to Giantkin. Lose 100 soldiers, but gain 0.5 morale. Alright. So we are also at 210 loot. We're going to need a lot more than that. Found 2 ancient dwarven knowledge. Remember, that is a lot of monarch points to develop, or a lot of government reform progress to get. Look at final supplies for now. Morale is looking alright. Organization is looking good. It's looking good. And we're having such good luck with our... What? Wow. I got ripped off. It said it was medium. It didn't even go to level 3. Wow, we lost big on that one. We lost big on that. Oh, maybe we didn't lose big on that one. Hold on. Cavern of Interest. Swords, spears, maces, bows, and crossbows. And axe heads. The sole remnant of once mighty arms whose handles have long since rotted away. All those and more litter the floor of the cavern. Some bear bloodstains, so caked on it, it's hard to distinguish from rust, while others seem nearly pristine, and some even bear decorative inlays. It is not clear exactly who left these here or why, but we will ensure these long idle arms have their day once more. Gain 100 military power. Our ancient dwarven knowledge. I mean, that is a lot of government reform progress. Do I care about this government reform stuff? I don't think so. It's definitely not as important to me as this one was. So I think we're just going to turn the rest of our ancient dwarven knowledge into stuff for our holds. And we have found the diamond of Orlghelovar. Faceted so masterfully that it seems to absorb and pulsate with light, this enormous diamond, also known as the Aegis of the Serpent's Reach, was the crown jewel of Orlghelovar, and it is said to exert a hold on those who gaze into its depths. Whether such tales are true or false, it is undeniable that it has a storied history. As all Dwarov was being forced, Orlghelovar pledged support and handed the Aegis over as a display of faith in the High King and the Assembly. It was lost after the fall of... it was lost after all Dwarov fell, of course, but it is now found, and is likely to strengthen our claims to rule over the caverns of the Serpent's Reach. The gem makes my head spin. We gain 10 prestige. Until the end of the game, we get 2.5% production efficiency. You know what? That is worth the monarch points to me. Like, yeah, we definitely lost big. Very, very big here. But that's okay. A price I'm willing to pay if we got that. That's very cool. That ties into reforging the Dwarvicron, but we'll get to that next time, because that is all the time that I have for today. I hope you guys are excited for this new update, for this new campaign. I know that it's been a little bit since we played Dwarves, and I know people always seem to enjoy it, and playing Dwarves can be very fun, and it is definitely more enjoyable with the new mechanics. In addition to Dwarves in the Dwarvar, a lot of the goblins have also gotten a rework, so if you wanted to play in the Dwarvar, but you weren't really ready to do that yet, now is the time. Now is the time. Again, you can find the link down below in the description to the Steam page for Anbennar if you want to check it out for yourself. But that's going to do it for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.